Welcome again to Live with Dr. Ken. I am sitting over in the stage left seat because my good friend Austin Black is going to interview me today and bring you important and great information for today.
We hope.
We always do here on Live with Dr. Ken, visible.edu.
And I don't know if you're aware of this, but
Yes.
There's a worldwide pandemic that we've been living in for the past year or so. And so
The 24-hour news cycle?
Yeah, that's what it
Is that the pandemic?
That's what it is. And the actual
There's a
pandemic,
virus,
the
yes.
actual virus.
Yes.
And so being at a college, that brings its own set of challenges. So for Visible Music College,
Yes.
what overall vision did you have and did you bring to Visible's response to COVID when it all hit?
Well, when it hit, of course, everybody didn't know what we know now. That we actually still don't know anything, right? But we knew very little then, and we thought it was short-lived. So my primary thing was Visible's based in Christian community, and to have community generally best in life, be together in one place. And so we focused on keeping an eye towards keeping people together. Eventually hoping that they, physically we'd be back together again, and that it would be actually a 2-week. There was originally let's flatten the curve for 2 weeks. So initially it was, hey, let's take extended breaks and just plan to be back together and not change anything. And that's sort of been still our long term is these things we do well. These things, since we don't know much. And we don't know what it's going to be like at point A, August, next semester, next year. Let's do the things we know work well, that we do well, and leave some things unchanged so that there's a little bit of a hallmark of this is our flow and all that. So generally my vision was to bring a little bit of stability in the core and keep people together.
So now, so much uncertainty, even still, as we're kind of working through all of this. What were some lessons learned, even to this point, that might impact Visible beyond COVID?
Well, I think the using the Clear app, I get no compensation for saying that, but using the Clear app was something I doubted early on, like a software that's gonna take our temperature. What's it gonna do? But essentially self-reporting how people are feeling and keeping track of where people come in and out. It's not been a big part of we have a fairly small school and very relational. But I think certain things, tasks that we need done, having them done through apps and people's phones seem to have really worked. And obviously the widespread smartphone. We have not really. We were very online ready, but we weren't quite appy quite yet. I think some of that will persist, and I think even help. We had outbreaks every year. Being a college that's primarily on campus, there was flu take out the school for 2 weeks. And so I think that might be helpful, and something that continues is maybe the apps.
What about shifting to the students, the student body, as you've watched them? Even through this whole process, we're all kind of learning this thing together. What are some successes with the student body that you've noticed along the way as well?
Yeah. Well, I think the students, like many people, confronted with a lot of free time, amplified the things that they were going for. So those that were successful or were able to take some kind of turn towards, hey, I want to work on this other thing, they've had more time than ever to pursue that. Others, we have seen, a lot of folks going into, a lot of depression, anxiety, stress, and some things that have happened with their families, all those kind of things. It's sort of amplified both directions. And then maybe a branch off of when students get time to work on something and they really go deeper, they may find out, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. So we've seen really good decisions made, that would maybe not have been made for several years. Both the work and the songs that are coming out, working with different artists, having time to tweak music, and not as much travel back and forth, so a lot of positives, a lot of people deciding real things for their life. And then, anxiety and stress were really big on the horizon for college students already. So exacerbated that in another way, which is the bad part.
Anytime we're really trying to do anything, a team is important. One person making decisions always leads to issues. So there's a team here visible. Who are some people that have helped you throughout this time of how do we make the best decision for Visible Music College to continue the important work that is already beginning, even in difficult times?
Yeah, I think we have a really great team. I have a great team of vice presidents. We had just changed. So we had one brand new vice president of admissions, Heather Isaac, which had just started March 1st last year. And so her move to town, welcome to Memphis, shut down. And you're our main marketing person. So she's been invaluable because of just her ready to say the hard things, ready to be, how about this contrary opinion? How about this opinion? How about this? And a lot of clarity. That's been great on the team. I'm sort of big vision holding. I wouldn't say we're like necessarily opposites, but it's been great balance in the team. So we had two sort of, more risk averse, challenging folks, and then two that are like, hey, everything's going to be okay people. So working that team with the different variants and different people, we have, one person from the UK. So there's more of Ben Raleigh, who's the CFO, and it's been, here's a different angle, and then the academic side, of course, going with the science side, a scientist, our academic VP, Dr. Cam Harvey. Those three, and then Jeremy Lewis-Hans, the director of students. It's been great feedback from the students and the housing people that were prior to him. It was a lot of great input. J.D. Wilson, who was here, was always I challenge that with this. This is how people will take that. So I work from here's what's right and here's how we should feel afterwards, and then people saying here's the other opinion and here's how people will take what you're saying. I feel like guided us pretty close down. We've done a pretty good job. No real outbreaks of any kind, and 70% of people in class. And
I think that's the thing I've noticed is that you can navigate this, and I think the school's done a wonderful job of navigating it safely, yet continuing the vision, continuing the work. Yeah. God is still at work.
Yeah,
He's not asleep. He hasn't hit pause. I think the decisions that you guys have made in the school as a whole has really done a wonderful job of how do we work through a pandemic, a worldwide pandemic, without the work stopping. And I think that's what people can learn from this video today.
Yes, I thought that was very important to keep the thing that we're about and what we're doing, keep that in our mind, and that's things will change every year in some way. This is a big one to adjust to, but not adjusting super quick or being flipped back and forth by what people are saying too quick, and kind of listening, going down the middle and adjusting as we went. It's felt pretty good given the circumstances. Yeah.
Well, he's Dr. Ken, and this is our COVID special.
That's right, COVID special, live with Dr. Ken. See you next time.